Have you ever sent a text message and watched it just sit there, unread, unanswered? It's a tiny digital ghost haunting your screen. You might check your phone again, and again, still nothing. Now think about a different kind of text. The one that makes your heart jump a little. The one you have to open the second you see it. What's the difference between these two messages? It's not magic. It is pure science. Some messages are simply built to be ignored, while others are scientifically designed to capture our immediate and undivided attention. It all comes down to understanding what makes the human brain tick. Why do we feel a sense of urgency with some notifications but not others? The answer lies deep within our brain's wiring. We are fundamentally social creatures. Our brains are hardwired to seek connection, information, resolution. Every time your phone pings with a new message, a fascinating chemical reaction happens inside your brain. It's a tiny but powerful event. That little sound or vibration triggers the release of a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but it's more accurately the chemical of anticipation and motivation. It's what makes you want to check your phone. Your brain has learned that a notification might lead to a reward, a funny meme, a sweet message from a loved one. Exciting news. This creates a dopamine-driven feedback loop that keeps you checking and checking and checking again for that potential reward. This system is powerful, but it's also smart. Your brain quickly learns to tell the difference between a high-potential reward and a low-potential one. A text from a specific person might give you a huge dopamine rush because their messages are usually rewarding. On the other hand, a generic notification or a text from someone who sends boring messages might cause only a tiny blip. Your brain starts to prioritize. Our first and most powerful hack is called the curiosity gap. This is a concept rooted in what psychologists call the information gap theory. The idea is simple. When there is a gap between what we know and what we want to know, our brain feels a deep, driving need to fill that gap. It's like a mental itch that we have to scratch. This is the secret force behind cliffhanger endings in movies, TV shows. They leave you with an open question, and your brain will obsess over it until you get the answer. You can use this exact same principle in your text messages to make them utterly compelling and impossible to ignore. So how do you create a curiosity gap in a text? You do it by hinting at interesting information without giving it all away. You open a story loop but don't close it immediately. Instead of stating a fact, you tease it. For example, a boring text might be, "Our second hack is based on a fundamental principle of human social interaction, the Rule of Reciprocity. This rule says that when someone does something nice for us, we feel an innate psychological obligation to do something nice for them in return. This is why, when a colleague buys you a coffee, you feel a gentle urge to get the next one. It's a powerful social glue that helps build trust and cooperation. This very same principle can be applied to your text messages to encourage faster and more thoughtful replies. It's all about giving value before you ask for anything in return. In the world of texting, value can come in many forms: a compliment, a piece of useful information, a funny meme, or a shared memory. When you send a text that offers value upfront, you're making a small social deposit. For instance, instead of texting, "Hey, can you help me with that report?" which is a pure withdrawal, you could start by giving, "I just saw that article about vintage cars and immediately thought of you. Hope you're having a great day." This text gives a compliment, "I thought of you," and shares something relevant. Let's imagine you want to reconnect with an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while. A low-value text would be, "Hey, how have you been?" This puts all the work on them to summarize their life. Our third and final hack is the specificity principle. This one is incredibly simple, but honestly, so often overlooked. The human brain is lazy. It conserves energy whenever possible. Vague questions or statements require a lot of cognitive effort to answer. When you send a text like, "How was your day?" you are asking the other person to stop, review their entire day, summarize it, and then formulate a response. That's a lot of work. As a result, the brain often defaults to a simple, low-effort answer like "good you," or just postpones replying altogether. Vague is easy to ignore because it's hard to answer. The solution is to be specific. Specificity makes it easy for the other person's brain to latch onto something and respond. Instead of the vague, "How was your day?" try asking something specific that you know about their day. For example, "How did that big presentation to your boss go this afternoon?" This question is targeted. It shows you remembered something important about their life, which is a form of value, just like hack number 2. It also narrows the focus, making it incredibly easy for them to answer. We've now uncovered 3 powerful science-backed secrets to crafting texts that demand attention. The first was the curiosity gap, where you create a mental itch by opening a story loop that the other person feels compelled to close. The second was the rule of reciprocity, which involves giving value like a compliment or a shared memory before you ask for anything, making the other person want to give back. And the third was the specificity principle, the art of making your messages clear, direct, and easy to answer by avoiding vague questions and statements. Each of these hacks works by aligning your message with the natural tendencies of the human brain. Think of these 3 hacks as tools in your communication toolkit. You don't need to use all of them in every single text message you send. That would be overwhelming, and honestly, might even feel unnatural. Instead, the goal is to become mindful of the messages you are sending. Before you hit that send button, take a brief moment to think. Knowledge is only potential power. Real power comes from action. So, I have a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, practice these 3 hacks in your daily texts. Don't overdo it. Use each principle at least once a day. This is your chance to move from theory to practice and see how effective small changes can be. Think of it as a fun experiment in human connection. You have nothing to lose. Are you in? Here's your simple plan for the week. Day 1, curiosity gap. Day 2, curiosity gap. Start by teasing a story, or ask a question that opens an information loop. Instead of guess what, try, you won't believe who I just ran into. Day 3, rule of reciprocity. Day 4, rule of reciprocity. Give before you ask. Send a friend a funny video you know they'll love. Text a family member a warm memory out of the blue. Just give, without expecting anything in return. Day 5, specificity principle. Day 6, specificity principle. Start today and unlock the secret to sending texts that no one can ever ignore.